All right, if you're a student listening to this right now and you're feeling broke, maybe a little stressed, and definitely stuck, then this is for you. I need you to listen up. This isn't about some get-rich-quick fantasy. This is about making your first $10,000. Because that first 10K, it's the hardest part. But once you get it, you prove to yourself that making money, well, it's a skill you can learn, not just dumb luck. Okay, let's get into it. Look, that whole idea, maybe it worked for your parents' generation. But for us, that's just not the world we live in anymore. A degree is still valuable, for sure. But thinking it's a golden ticket to a big salary, that's a slow, risky bet these days. The rules of the game have totally changed, and it's about time your strategy did too. Just take a look at this. The old way, well, it starts with a mountain of debt, right? And then it funnels you straight into a 9-to-5 where you hit a salary cap pretty fast. But the new path, this is about building real, high-income skills with a side hustle. And that path leads to experience, it leads to cash flow, and ultimately, it leads to freedom way faster than the old-school route. Okay, this next part, this is a huge mindset shift, so pay attention. You do not need a billion-dollar revolutionary idea. You don't have to be the next Zuckerberg. Success leaves clues. The whole trick is to stop trying to invent something from scratch and just start looking at the patterns, the proven models that are already making people money right now. And that brings us to the big one, right? The question that paralyzes almost everyone before they even take the first step. I've got nothing to offer. I don't have any cash to invest. We have got to break that mindset because honestly, the barrier to starting something today is lower than it has ever been in human history. In fact, you're probably sitting on a literal gold mine and you don't even know it. Your entire startup kit is right there in your room. You've got a phone, you've got internet, and I guarantee you have stuff lying around you haven't touched in a year. Selling that stuff on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, that's how you make your first couple $100 with zero risk. It's the perfect training ground. All right, so you've got some cash, or maybe you don't, doesn't matter. Let's jump into the 3 most accessible side hustles for students today. These are skills you can start learning right now and start getting paid for fast. Okay, hustle number 1, short form strategy. Think about it. Every single business, from the pizza place down the street to massive tech companies, they all know they need to be on TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. The thing is, most of them are clueless about how to make content people will actually watch, and that's where you come in. And you want to know the best part? The barrier to entry here is basically zero. The real skill isn't being some pro filmmaker. It's about studying what goes viral, the hooks, the sounds, the editing styles. The only tool you really need is your phone. And you can seriously level up your game by using AI to spit out video ideas and write scripts in minutes. And if you think this sounds crazy, just look at someone like Noah Briley. He wasn't some video pro. He was a kid who just paid really close attention to what worked online and then sold that knowledge as a service. This is 100% doable. All right, let's talk about hustle number 2, which builds perfectly on the first one, video editing. Get this, video is something like 82% of all internet traffic now. The demand for people who can edit, it is absolutely exploding. Every creator, every brand, every YouTuber needs good editors to make their stuff watchable. And listen, I need you to hear this. You do not need some crazy Hollywood-level setup. You can learn the most important skills like storytelling and pacing on a basic laptop using incredible free software like DaVinci Resolve. Plus, AI can be your assistant, handling boring stuff like simple cuts or generating subtitles, which just makes you faster. Start with what you've got, seriously. Tom's story is huge because honestly, he was probably exactly where you are right now, a university student stressed about debt. He just decided to learn a valuable skill online, and before he even graduated, he built a 6-figure business from his bedroom. That is the insane power of a high-income skill. And for our third hustle, let's talk about branded dropshipping. But hold on, I need you to forget everything you think you know about dropshipping, like selling cheap junk from AliExpress. The real money, the smart money today, is in finding one great product and building a real, trustworthy brand around it. That's what lets you charge a premium and build a business that actually lasts. So this one? It's all about marketing. It's about building a brand people actually trust. The tools are super easy to use. You can build a professional-looking store on Shopify in a single weekend. An AI becomes your marketing intern. It can write your product descriptions, your ads, and even help you spot product trends before they take off. I mean, look at Jimmy. This guy is living proof that this model isn't just theory, it works when you do it right. He didn't just move products, he built a brand that people loved and wanted to be a part of. That's how you build something real and scalable. Okay, so you picked a hustle, you're starting to see some cash come in. Awesome. But how do you take it from, a little side money to a serious, consistent $10,000 a month? Well, it takes a big shift in how you think. You have to go from being someone who trades time for money to being a business owner who builds a system that makes money for you. It really boils down to this 4-step playbook. 1, just focus on getting that first client. Prove the concept. 2, master reliability. Honestly, if you just deliver on time and communicate well, you're already in the top 5%. 3, you have to reinvest your profits. And 4, automate and scale. That's when you start hiring people or using software to do the day-to-day work, so you can focus on the business, not just in it. Now, what you're looking at here is probably the single most important principle for actually growing this thing. When you make that first $1,000, it's so tempting to go below it. Don't. A simple rule is 50-30-20. 50% goes right back into the business for growth, better tools, an online course, ads. 30% goes into savings, and you can spend the last 20. That discipline is what turns linear growth into exponential growth. You're not just earning anymore, you're building a real asset. And while you're on this path, you have to watch out for these traps. Seriously, these are the things that keep most students broke. The number one mistake is chasing a quick buck instead of a valuable skill. And please, remember this, reliability is your most valuable asset. The people who get paid the most aren't always the most talented. They're the ones you can always count on. Okay, you've built the engine. The cash is flowing consistently. Now we get to the fun part, the final stage. This is where you make the big leap from working hard for your money to having your money work hard for you. This is how you build real long-term wealth. Because look, the whole point of this isn't just to work harder forever. The end goal is freedom. And freedom comes from passive income, money that your assets earn for you, even when you're sleeping. Your side hustle is the powerful engine that generates the cash you need to buy those assets. So once that business engine is humming and spitting out consistent profit, the game totally changes. You don't just let that cash pile up in a bank account. You put it to work. You diversify. That just means you take your profits and you buy different kinds of assets. The simplest place to start is with low-cost index funds. It's like owning a tiny piece of the whole stock market. Later, you can look into things like real estate or individual stocks. The point is not to have all your eggs in one basket. That's how you protect your money and make it grow for the long haul. Look, I get it. You're a student. You're busy. To actually pull this off, you need a routine. It's non-negotiable. This isn't about grinding 12 hours a day. It's about being focused and consistent. Block out time every single day to learn, to do the actual work, to find new clients, and to just check in with your goals. That consistency is what separates the people who make it from everyone else. So let me just say this. It does not matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter if you have $10 or $0 in your bank account right now. Your past does not define your future. All that matters is where you decide to go from here. The path is laid out, the steps are proven, so the only real question left is, what's your dream, and are you willing to take that first step today?